a mom who's very ill. And she was constantly ill, and everything that the doctors did for her, she got worse. So, my little brain was ticking. It's like, this isn't working. All these surgeries on her back, all these drugs that she's taking for sleeping and waking up and getting through the day, it's not working. So she ended up in a mental hospital with a lot of electric shock treatments. I don't know if you've ever known anyone do that. I've been in I come from England, from Cambridge, and I've been in those mental hospitals, and you wouldn't wish your worst enemy to be in there. Very sobering environment. And so I love my mom, as most of us do, with all my heart, and also my dad, but I got very confused as to what I witnessed. So that led me on a journey. And I'm going to suggest to you that sometimes your greatest suffering in life will lead you on a journey to your greatest gifts. Would you agree with that? Absolutely. So that's kind of what happened to me. But my first career was in ballet. I left home at 10 years old. I started ballet at 3, left home at 10 to go study professionally. I decided I wanted to be with the Royal Ballet. I saw the Royal Ballet School. I said, that's my school. I'm going. I had no idea the competition. I didn't even care. I just knew it was my school, and that's where I was supposed to be. So I ended up there at 10, and I was there for 8 years training, 5 years in the boarding school, 3 years in London in the upper school afterwards, with my own apartment at 15 years old. So left home very, very young. I never moved back. And that was an interesting career, and I loved a lot of it. I had a great time. Ended up with Dutch National Ballet in Holland, and then had a back injury. That's very common in ballet that by the time you're 18, 20, you're old. It's a short shelf life. They don't really tell you that when you start. It would be kind of helpful, maybe. Maybe none of us would do it, though. But gymnasts, it's pretty much over by the time you're 18. Ballet is pretty much over by the time you're 25, 28. Unless you're very lucky, like Margot Fontaine, who kept going until her 50s with chronic arthritis and rheumatism in her joints. But anyway, a beautiful dancer. So I had this back injury at 17. So then I started spending more time resting than dancing, and that wasn't much fun. Because, guess what? You like to move when you're a dancer. So I started looking, thinking about other things. And what I didn't like in the ballet profession was it was very competitive, especially with other women. So I was always competing with other girls, sometimes competing with my very best friend. And as much as I love to win, I like others winning too. And I didn't like that win-lose idea. And I got very bored with that. I also didn't like having a boss, somebody who was going to tell me which roles I was going to dance and which roles I was not going to dance. And I was a little feisty, and I didn't like that. And I didn't like the idea that people would put you down a lot. There was a lot of shaming in ballet. And the director of Dutch National one day, he was shaming me as he did many of us. And I just looked at him and I just said, it was quite a sort of courageous thing to do. I think at 19, I just said, nobody talks to me like that. And within 2 weeks, I left the company. I didn't know what I was going to do, except I'd read a book called Cancer Ward by Solzhenitsyn, and he talked a lot about suffering of mankind. And that book touched me very deeply. I read a lot of his work. And anyone who read Solzhenitsyn? He's an amazing writer, incredible writer. And I remember reading the book and thinking, why do we suffer so much, us human beings? And this voice just floated in my mind and said, your life is about healing. And that I knew was true. So when I left the company, I went back to London and started studying natural healing. Not Western medicine, natural ways to help the human body, mind, spirit to heal. And that's what I did. So I got involved in that. The gentleman who was teaching, one of the gentlemen who taught me macrobiotics, I ended up marrying him, had 3 children, moved to America, and was at the circus for a while in Mexico in the middle. And then that was really fun. And then and I made really good money too. I didn't make much money in ballet, but circus is good for making money. So anyway, we started a healing center in Estes Park. Kids were little, and we thought it was a great idea. Estes Park is in Colorado. We moved from Florida, and we had this huge facility. It was fantastic. 15 acres of land, all these cabins, beautiful conference center, 5-star organic foods restaurant we created. It was spectacular. It was also spectacularly expensive. Our mortgage was $8,000 a month, just that, in 1990. It was huge. And so we were really undercapitalized, and our overhead was enormous. And you know what happens when that goes on for a little while? You go upside down, and we went upside down in a big way. And so we closed the doors, lost everything, moved back into Boulder. I started my hands-on healing work. I was teaching yoga, and I was working for a Holistic Health magazine. Also taking care of my 3 children. Didn't have any time for network marketing or Nikken or anything like that. I was a busy, busy girl, but it was not happening financially for us. And I kept I had this subconscious paradigm that, my husband would somehow, he would just get it and make the money, right? Because I was doing the kids and I was doing my healing work I just kept sort of having this idea that somebody else was going to do that piece, right? And it didn't happen. And it didn't happen. That was very, very sobering. And one day I was just like, what are we going to do? And we were 3 months late in rent, and our rent was $12.75 a month, and we would late on every bill we ever had. It was easy when we bought the car. They wanted to sell us a car, but you're 2 months late in your payments, and they're not so nice, are they? It's like, oh wait, I'm talking to somebody different now. I hope you've never been there. I hope you've never had a bankruptcy, but if you have, you can just blink or something. It is not a nice feeling. It is a feeling of like being anemic, like you got no iron in your blood. And so I put out a very sincere prayer. Well, first, before I put out the prayer, I cried a lot, because when I get really scared, I tend to cry a lot. And so I cried a lot. And I felt very impotent. I felt like, well, I'm this English girl. I'm in America. I'm a dancer, ballet dancer. Okay, I'm a healer. Great. I can't make a bean. So you see, it's wonderful to have natural healthcare technologies, but there's a lot of healers in the world that are dead broke. And it is not fun. And they're the loveliest, loveliest people ever. All my friends, great healers, but they were all broke. So I put out a prayer. I was like, please, please help me. I have to find an answer to this problem of money. So I sort of realized, it was kind of a shocking realization that if something was going to change, I was going to have to change. If something was going to change financially, I was going to have to be the one. And I didn't want to do that. I mean, I was stubborn. I was like, please, don't make me be the one to make the money. Come on now. I know I'm doing everything else. It's like, but a friend of mine said, Julie, why don't you take a look at Nikken? Now, I have to tell you that I knew people making a lot of money in network marketing, but I was never interested. I just had this ridiculous paradigm. See, I didn't understand it. And I consider myself a fairly open-minded person, but I wasn't about that. I just thought it was a way to make people do things they didn't want to do, and a way to lose all your friends in a heartbeat, and that was just not me. I love my friends, I didn't want to lose them. So I was very nervous about it. You see, what I thought it wasn't, and what I thought it wasn't, it was. See, I thought maybe it was unethical, but actually it was the most ethical thing that I've ever found. But I didn't understand that at the time, so I had blocked it off. And so I knew, so never mind. And then it was magnets, and I was like, magnets, how ridiculous. My whole background was in Asian medicine. If magnets work, I would know about it. So I was a snob. So not only was I closed-minded, but I was a snob. Not good combination. And so I laughed, but anyway, she just said, just take a look. And because I had put out this sincere request to the universe, please help me figure out this financial dilemma, I thought, only by sheer courtesy, I better look at everything that comes by my plate, right? I mean, I just should, otherwise it'd be rude. It's like, oh, you ask a question and then you just like, no, I don't want to hear any answers. I said, that'd be rude. So I went to this presentation, and it was a presentation similar to this, and that night, my back was killing me. That back injury I'd still had since 17. I was 38 years old at this point, and in 1995, and she said, is your back hurting? Because she saw me wiggling, and I said, yeah, actually it is. And she said, here. And she gave me the back flex, which is somewhere around here, the back flex. And yeah, it's up there by the seat. And I said, oh, you're silly little magnets, I'm going to need for my back. I mean, kind of snooty. And I'm in Canada, and, I come from England, and I know we're taught to be, polite and nice. But I wasn't being polite at all. I was scoffing. It was the truth. I was scoffing. And anyway, she said, she was very sweet. She said, just put it on your low back. I was like, all right. So I took it, put it on my low back. I can still remember the outfit I was wearing, and everything that night. Everything about that night became crystal clear. And in about 10 minutes, my back felt totally great. Normal, fine, not hurting. And I was like, now that's impossible. That will not happen to I know my back. It's not going to happen. And that got my attention, because my body was telling me something that my mind did not want to get. My mind did not want to believe it, but my body was saying, something profound is going on. And I thought that was intriguing, you know. And that's when really my mind started opening up. And the gentleman who was speaking was Reed Nelson. He was a Royal Diamond, and he said he'd had a bankruptcy. I was like, oh, great. He said his kids were living out of cardboard boxes. I was like, yeah, I know about that. And he said, I have changed my family's life, future, forever with Nikken. And I just remember this little voice saying, listen to this man, he is a messenger for you. And I did listen. And he just showed very simply what he had done to build this business. And I rushed out at the end of the presentation. And my friend Lisa thought I hated it. But I didn't hate it at all. It's just that, do you ever have a moment where your mind is just on fire? It's just on fire with a new idea. That was where I was at. I was on fire, and I took a walk, and I just took this walk in the freezing cold, I have to say. It was January. You know, it gets cold here, I know, in Toronto. It gets cold in Colorado, too. And I took this walk, and I said, all right, is this what you're showing me? And that little voice in my heart just said yes. And I said, if I do it, can I be successful? Because I had to have success. I could not afford another failure. I had to have a success. I had to have a win. And the answer was yes. And I said, all right then, I'm going to do this. And I'm going to do it all the way. And I decided on that walk that I would be at the top level, which at that point was Royal Diamond. And I made it up in my mind that I would do it within 5 years. And my initial goal was to make $5,000 a month. Now, it was 3 months late in rent, $1,275 a month, you can do the math, and late on every other payment. Car, telephone, you name it, it wasn't getting paid. So, I went home, and I still had the back flex with me, and I actually had a tummy ache that night, because I'd made lentil soup, and you know when you love lentil soup and you eat too much of it, you get kind of, because you're sitting there. I had a little tummy ache, so I put the back flex on my tummy, and my tummy ache had gone away, and I was like, now that's cool, because that's 2 out of 2. That's a win. As far as I'm concerned, that is a win. So then I went home, and I told my family, and 3 young children, they were 9, 11, and 12 at the time, and my husband, I said, I have found something extraordinary. I don't understand what this is. And I had the back flex, and I showed them, and I said, it's a magnet, and it works. And I'm going to take this to the world, and I will change our lives, and it will take me 1 year. And then I looked at my husband and I said, and all I ask of you is, please don't get in my way. I said, and I never talked to him like that, ever. We never argued about anything. The only thing we ever argued about actually was money or lack of. We really weren't into arguing about everything else. We agreed on how to bring up the kids and all of this stuff. But that, and I was like, and don't roll your eyes if I'm talking about Nikken on the telephone. Because I just had this feeling that's what I might be doing. Talking about Nikken on the telephone, and I didn't want any from who is the person you're most susceptible to in your life? Your partner, right? Your partner. And if they're scoffing, rolling eyes, you know, you'll never do it. Show me the money. It's not going to work, right? So I just had to sort of nip it in the bud. That was I'm going to nip that in the bud. And he was great about it. He thought I would be. I don't know what he thought, absconded by the magnet people, some network marketing cult, or, you know, he was a little worried about me, but he was very, very good. And so I just decided. I made a decision, and I think that's the thing. You know, when I wanted to go to the Royal Ballet School, I made a decision. That's where I wanted to go. That's where I belonged. I chose it. It chose me, and we cleaved. And that was the same with Nikken. I saw Nikken, and I said, I like this. I like this, it's everything I love. It's natural health, it's what I'm passionate about. And it's a way to make really good living. And I'm excited about that too. See, when I was a little girl, I always told my parents, I'm going to be a millionaire one day. And they would always laugh, and I said, no, I'm going to discover something that nobody has and everybody needs. And I'm going to make millions with that. And they laughed, I said, no. I said, because look, marmalade. I take hours to take out all the bits from the marmalade, because I don't like the bits on my toast. And I was like 7 years old. And I was like, now I bet there's another child or many other kids that don't like the bits in the marmalade. So I'm going to develop a marmalade without the bits. And they just thought it was stupid. And then we had Golden Shred came out. Do you remember? Do you have Golden Shred here? Golden Shred, Silver Shred? No, in England. And I was mad. I was like, they stole my idea. They stole my idea. That idea's a really good idea. So anyway, that was kind of how I was. I was just always like thinking of odd things and always asking why. And my parents just thought I was an amusing kid, I guess. But anyway, so when I started Nikken, I had this powwow with the kids and Bill, and I said, you know, you're going to have to bear with me because kids, I'm not going to be there like this presentation thing once a week, and I'm going to have to be there. So that night, I'm not going to put you to bed. And I said, you know, Bill, you're going to have to cook dinner sometime more, and maybe you're going to have to clean up the house a little bit more because I'm going to be doing this, and my time is better spent building this business and creating a network than it is ironing clothes. Although I do like ironing, actually. And I used to iron, and my kids would sometimes come in and they go, Mom, who are you talking to? And this is long before Nikken. And I'd say, I don't know, but I'm talking to thousands of people. And they'd be like, what about? And I'm like, about life, about things that matter. See, you have ideas of where your destiny is going long before it manifests, don't you think? Now, it wasn't that I wanted to be a speaker or anything. I had no desire for that. It's just that I saw that that was something I was going to be doing. So they thought it was kind of weird, but anyway. So they realized they do that thing themselves. So the question that then I had was, if I'm being shown this, and this is what I'm meant to do, what I'm being called to, the answer to my prayer, then I have a dilemma now because I'm broke. I can't even afford the $60 for the application, but I need these products. So that was the first challenge. And that's a challenge for lots of people. Because a lot of people come into Nikken because they're looking for a business, they're looking for a way to heal their financial predicaments, right? So that was the first issue. So this is what I did. I thought, well, there can't be a stumbling block because this is not going to be a joke. It's not going to be like, oh, we're going to give you this wonderful gift, but oh, sorry, but you can't really have it. Like giving you a beautiful meal, but can't really eat it. I was like, no, I'm going to refuse that idea. So I went to two people and I said, I'm going to start a multi-million-dollar business. Could you lend me a little bit of seed capital? I need a little bit to start me off, and then I'll pay you back as soon as I can. And they said yes. So now this is an interesting point because suddenly, out of nowhere, I got $3,500 collected. I had the $3,500 now. If you were late in rent, and I had a lovely landlord, older man in his 80s, sweet guy, very patient, clearly, what would you do if you got $3,500 and your rent was $1,275 and you were late by 3 months? You'd pay the landlord. I know. Exactly. See, so I had to think about that, and I was like, now, I've got this money. If I pay the landlord, what's going to happen next month? I'm going to have the rent again. I'm going to be in the same position. So I was looking at my life, and I was looking 5 years down the track, right, and I did not like what I saw. If I kept going on the same track. So I go, I have to do something very, very different, something very counterintuitive, which is I'm not going to do the right thing, which is pay the landlord. I'm going to invest in this business of Nikken, and I'm going to turn my life around and for our family through this. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That was a peculiar decision. But you know what? I was so excited. So I signed up, and I got my packs, and I signed up for Humans Being More training, because that's what they said I should do. And I was like, okay, I don't know what to do. I'm clueless here. I just know this is the right thing. So, you know, you tell me what to do, and I'll do it. And everything changed. I went silver the second month, made the money back by the third month, started making $2,000 a month. I still have my healing practice. I was still working for the Holistic Health magazine. I was their advertising manager for the whole Boulder area. It was quite a big job. It was a bi-monthly, so it didn't entail, you know, working every day all day on it, but it did take a lot. You know, and the kids, you know, which was my primary joy and primary duty. So then I said, oh man, I'm just booking it. So I was just talking to whomever. Now, they say in network marketing the 3-foot rule, as in if you're further than 3 feet, I'm going to move a little bit closer and a little bit closer, so that we can actually have a conversation. Now, I'm English, I'm not very good at that. I will admit I'm not very good at the 3-foot rule. Honestly, I'm not. But I did make a list of people, and I did look at that list, and I thought, who do I really like? And I thought, I don't really care whether they've got money or not, that's irrelevant. I just want to know, do I like them? Are they vibrant? Do they have shiny eyes? And would I like to work with them? That was it, really. Would I like to be partners with you or not? And that was the criteria for me. Would they, because you never know what's inside of someone. And I think when we prejudge, we can make an awful lot of mistakes. And we all tend to prejudge, don't we? We judge very quickly, actually. In a minute, we can size somebody up, or so we think. And we can be so wrong. You can be so incredibly wrong. You don't know what's inside of someone. You don't know what flame is waiting to be found. And so, to just think I'm going to go to people that have money is silly, because it's actually often the people who don't have money that are really looking for an opportunity, and they're ready. And timing is everything, right? I have been told about Nikken a couple times before, but I wasn't ready. And the people didn't have any products to show me so that I could feel things. Now, as a dancer, and as many of you, I'm very kinesthetic. I like to feel things. I wanted to feel these products. I wanted to see what they were. I wanted to know what they did. So all they talked about was just making money. And actually, they weren't very nice about it. They were sort of like, aren't you sick and tired of being broke? And what, And I was like, I'm doing my healing work. It's what I love to do in the world. It's what I know I'm here for. So you're kind of being insulting. And so that did not go down well with me. So you really want to consider how you approach people, and just ask questions, and be kind, and be courteous, and honor people for what they're doing. And just because they're broke doesn't mean they're not doing great work in the world, right? You know that. So you see, it had come twice, but the messenger was not the right messenger. It was not coming the right way for me. I couldn't hear it at all. In fact, it was offensive. But the third time was the charm. The third time was the right time, and thank goodness, I actually listened. And who knows, I was in that position. I was really asking for help. The woman who showed me, I trusted her. She was a quiet woman. She was a sweet woman. Oh, thanks. That's very thoughtful of you. This winged lady. I like the wings on her shirt. So that was it. So then by the end of the year, the first year, I was a platinum, still very, very part-time, having a lot of fun. I went platinum with 6 silvers, and then 2 of them started wavering and kind of wafting, and I thought, so then I just built 2 other silvers so that I was always qualifying. So one of my commitments was to always qualify at my level, which I have done for 17 years. I think there were 2 months where I didn't qualify as, it was when I was a diamond, there was 2 months where I didn't. But other than that, I've always qualified at my level, because I think if you're going to understand the structure of network marketing, the structure of the Nikken compensation plan, you do want to qualify at your level. I mean, that's part of the point. And so that was my commitment. So I built 2 other silvers, and then went diamond 2 years and 7 months, I think, was when I went diamond, and then Royal Diamond 3 years and 10 months. So it happened faster than my plan. But I did have a plan. It was written on a piece of paper. It was very, very simple, and the plan was begin with the end in mind. Royal Diamond 5 years, Diamond 3 years, Platinum, I think I gave myself 1.5 years, Gold 6 months, and Silver 3 months. I think that was my plan. So I had that plan on my desk, because it's just like if you're going to jump in your car and you're going to go from Toronto to Calgary, you better know where you start and where you're going, and then you're going to figure out the route, yeah? So you have to have a plan. Everybody needs a plan in life, and most of us very often don't have a plan, or it's sort of an unconscious plan. So that was just kind of basically what happened, and that was a big eureka, It was very, very exciting. It's like, wow. And now I've just reset another goal to go Royal Diamond again, only this time I want to do it in 2 years. I want to take 5. I don't want to 3 and 10 months. No, I want to do it in 2. Why not? The compensation plan is there. People are looking and longing and praying and asking for answers to their dilemmas. Now, there could be many areas of dilemma. Clearly one is physical, and people are just, breaking down. In fact, 2 nights ago I was at a dinner. It's called the BBC. It's the Boulder Brits Club, and we kind of meet and we have a laugh. and in Boulder, and in the English, we come together, and this one chap, he says, oh, my daughter, she's not sleeping at all, and she's 14 months or something. I said, really, she's not sleeping at all? And, no, and he said, and it turns out he's got, I said, do you turn your Wi-Fi off at night? He's like, oh, no. And then he's got this camera that's looking on the crib, and I said, does it have a bright light? Yes. It's got an LED light. You know how bright those are. And he said, my daughter sleeps on her tummy, all curled up. And I said, well, yeah, she's trying to get away from not only the light, but the frequency that thing is emitting. And he looks at me and I said, you need to put her on a magnetic pad and she'll sleep like a log. And he's like, But we'd had a few IPAs by then. Well, they had, the guys had. I didn't. But so I thought, next time. Conversation next time. But, so physical, mental, emotional, all of that we're in quite dire straits. And so the products themselves help with all of those areas. And I would say spiritually too. They help on many, many, many levels. So they're very, very important for our life. There are some things that nobody has and everybody needs. Maybe they don't know they need it. Maybe I didn't know about magnetics and then I needed it. Maybe you don't know that you need it yet, but everybody needs this. So when you have that and then you have a compensation plan built for your success through helping others succeed, you've got a win-win. And that was what I always thought was the most sublime thing, was a win-win game. Because as a kid, I loved playing games. And I especially loved Monopoly and card games. And I was good at them. And I always seemed to win at Monopoly. But the problem with the winning, or canasta, or whatever, was that my sisters and my mom didn't seem to appreciate my winning, because they were losing. And I can remember in Monopoly starting to hand over those 500-pound notes, trying to help them, but actually prolonging their agony, because you see, I had Mayfair Park Lane, I had the hotels and all that, and I was actually prolonging their suffering. I should have just, and you know what, it's over, game over. You're gonna land on me one of these moments, one of these times. So I stopped playing games at about, 12 or 13 years old, because what I realized was that internally I had such a deep dilemma around it, because I'd be happy at winning Monopoly, but really sad that my sisters went bankrupt. It just bothered me so much, and I was like, I want to invent a game where everybody wins. Why can't we have a game where everybody wins? Well, is that impossible? No. And so when I understood network marketing, I got so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, I can help you win, I can help you win, I can help you win, and I can win too. That's amazing. That is amazing. You know how precious that is to have a concept like that is actually deliverable in the marketplace? I mean, wow. Wow. And in Nikken, what I really love is how we all work together. You see, we understand that we really are all one mind, one heart. We do. And so we realize that even if there's no financial connection, we're all winning together, and that it's important that we all help each other win. So understand that if you're building this, don't just think about your own downline. Think of all the people in Nikken and help them win. And think of all the people that aren't involved with Nikken and help them win. And help them see this, what we see. And that's a crucial thing. And that's why I was so excited to come here. Because, there's no one in the room here, I don't think, that's in my downline. Is there anybody in the room that's in my downline? There's nobody here that's in my downline. But, I was so excited to come. Why? Because I want you to get it. I want you to get what we get. And see, Bo would help my team, and does. In fact, he was just in Israel not long ago and helped my team, and I was like, thank you so much. You see, we understand that there's plenty of pie for everyone. We don't have to say, oh, I'm not going to teach you because you're not in my downline. That's silly. That's small-mindedness. We have a big mind here. We're very gracious, and I really appreciate that a lot, because you will not find that in every network marketing company. In fact, most companies, they'll say, you can't come to my meeting because you're in somebody else's group. That's ridiculous. In fact, don't we want all network marketing to win? In fact, don't we want all the world to win and everybody in whatever it is they do to thrive? See, that's our commitment, is to thrive. Whether you see this as your vehicle or not, we want you to thrive. And that's why I'm so, so grateful. And why I was so excited to come. I was like, I'm so happy to come to Toronto. And it's real. That's true, because if there's something that I might be able to say that suddenly you get something on another level that you never got before, it just, you never know what you're going to say that might just tip that, it's like a tipping point in somebody's mind or heart, then that's a good thing. That's a good thing, because our commitment is celebration. Our commitment is joy. And it has been, so far, a joyful, very, very joyful ride. And I'm really excited about the next years to come, because we haven't scratched the surface with Nikken. It's 0.25% market penetration. We haven't even begun. When we started, we're all in like the basement, in the base of the basement. Didn't matter, because we knew it was going to be huge, but we were way, way down there, you know, just beginning. It was like taking a machete and cutting through the jungle so we could create pathways for all the others following. And that's what we've been doing. And we continue to create new pathways, and you continue to create new pathways. And so slowly, slowly, we'll get the word out there that, you know, your child who's 14 months doesn't have to not sleep. Like, that's ridiculous. That your family don't have to succumb to, you know, cancer, MS, whatever else. No, no. It's not normal that we start developing these peculiar growths, and now at the age of 10. This is not normal and doesn't have to happen. It's not normal. We should all be abundant and be thriving. It's not normal that there's poverty and so much inequity. We should have wealth across the world. So we're in this, and this is something that I really love about Mr. Fuller's concept of there's enough money for everyone on the planet. It just needs to be distributed differently. So we're about redistributing the wealth around the planet, and that's super exciting also. So the health, the wealth, the time. I don't work very hard. People think, oh, you must work so hard. You're so busy. You're so, I'm like, man, that's a pussy. Because, you know, every day I go work out at the club, and I just started trapeze recently, and I'm always doing something different and new. I've started working in dream work, and actually a new silver came out of that, doing dream work. And so not so busy, lots of time to contemplate, time to muse, time to walk by the lake or the river, time to go in the mountains. Don't you think we all deserve that? We deserve a good life, a great life, a beautiful life. And that's what we can create here. So make no mistake, it's a blessing that you're in this room, and listen deeply. And if you hear it and it rings for you, it sings for you, then run with it. And run and run and run and run and run. Run until you fly, actually. Okay, thank you very much.